comfortable life does not build men. It maintains them at whatever level they arrived at when the comfort began. The man who has been comfortable for too long without any real pressure testing him is not resting. He is slowly losing the edge that the previous pressures built. The muscle that is never challenged does not stay the same. It reduces. The skill that is never tested under real conditions does not stay sharp. It dulls. The character that is never pressed against something genuinely difficult does not stay strong. It softens into something that looks like strength from the outside in the absence of any real test, but reveals its actual consistency the moment the test arrives. This is not an argument against rest or recovery or the legitimate need for periods of lower intensity in a serious life. Those are real and necessary. It is an argument against the life organized primarily around the avoidance of pressure. That life feels safe, and it costs more than any dangerous one ever has because the cost is not paid in visible damage. It is paid in the slow erosion of what the man was capable of becoming. Pressure reveals what is actually there. This is its most important function, and the one that makes it so valuable despite being so uncomfortable. You do not know what you are made of in the absence of pressure, because nothing is asking the question. The untested man has a self-image built from imagination and the relatively easy evidence of days that did not demand much from him. The tested man has a self-image built from something more reliable, which is the actual evidence of what he did when something real was required. These two self-images feel similarly valid from the inside until the pressure arrives and the gap between them becomes visible. The man whose self-image was built on imagination discovers in the pressure that the imagination was generous. The man whose self-image was built on genuine evidence discovers in the pressure that the evidence holds. You cannot build the second kind without going through the pressure that generates the evidence. There is no other way to find out what is actually there. The pressure you are in right now is not a detour from your development. It is your development in its most concentrated form. The financial pressure that is forcing you to think about money differently than you ever have before is building a relationship with resources that the comfortable man never develops. The relationship pressure that is demanding more honesty and more maturity from you than the previous version of you had is building the emotional capacity that the avoided relationship never could have built. The professional pressure that is asking more from you than you currently feel capable of giving is building the competence that comfortable tasks could never have demanded into existence. Every specific pressure in your specific life right now is working on a specific dimension of the person you need to become to handle the life you are trying to build. The building is uncomfortable by nature. Comfort is not a building material. Most young men respond to pressure by trying to escape it, and the escape routes feel like reasonable self-preservation in the moment they are taken. Quit the thing that is pressing hardest. Move away from the situation that is demanding the most. Reduce the commitment that is producing the most friction. Each of these moves provides genuine relief immediately and genuine cost slowly. The relief is real because the pressure genuinely reduces when you remove yourself from what was generating it. The cost is also real because you leave the pressure before it finished the building it came to do. The lesson that the pressure was working you toward is abandoned halfway through the learning. The capacity that was being developed under the demand is not developed to completion. The version of you that would have existed on the other side of the pressure is replaced by the version that exists on the side of the exit. That version is less than what the staying would have produced. The exit was free. The cost was the person you would have become. There is a difference between the pressure that builds and the pressure that damages, and learning to tell them apart is one of the more important skills available to a serious young man. The pressure that builds is the pressure that demands more from you than you currently have and gives you the opportunity to find it within yourself. It is hard and uncomfortable, and the discomfort is the building happening in real time. The pressure that damages is the pressure that exceeds any reasonable capacity to respond and produces breakdown rather than development. The distinction is real and it matters, but the honest accounting of most young men's lives shows that they are primarily dealing with the building kind and calling it the damaging kind to give themselves permission to exit before the building is complete. The question worth asking honestly, when the pressure is at its highest, is whether this is breaking me in a way that needs intervention or building me in a way that needs endurance. Most of the time, the answer is the second one, and the endurance is the work. The man who has been through genuine pressure and did not exit early carries something in every room he enters that men who have not been through it do not carry. It is not arrogance. It is not the performed toughness of someone trying to signal strength they do not actually have. It is a quiet quality that comes from a man knowing something about himself that can only be known through experience. He knows that the hard thing did not break him. He knows that the demand exceeded what he thought he had, and he found something additional that he did not know was there. He knows that the version of himself that exists after the pressure is more capable than the version that went into it. That knowledge changes everything about how he approaches the next hard thing, because the next hard thing is no longer an unknown quantity. He has a reference point now. The reference point is his own proven capacity under real conditions.